1984, 10-year-old Tre Styles lives with his single mother Reva Devereaux in Inglewood, California. After Tre gets involved in a fight at school, his teacher calls Reva and informs her that although Tre is rather intelligent, he is immature, and lacks respect. Frightened about the future of her child, Reva sends him to live in the Crenshaw neighborhood of South Central with his father, Furious Styles, from whom she hopes Tre will learn valuable life lessons. In Crenshaw, Tre reunites with his childhood friends, Darren Doughboy Baker, Doughboy's maternal half-brother Ricky, and Chris, their mutual friend. That night, Tre hears his father shooting at a burglar who tried to rob the house. Furious calls the LAPD, and 2 officers arrive an hour later. The white officer is civil and professional, while the African-American one is hostile and treats Furious with disrespect and contempt. 7 years later, a welcome home party is held for Doughboy, now a Crip member, following his release from prison. Also at the party are Chris, now in a wheelchair from a gunshot wound, Dookie, and Monster. Ricky, now a star running back for Crenshaw High School, lives at home with his mother Brenda, girlfriend Shanice, and their toddler son. Meanwhile, Tre has grown into a mature and responsible teenager, who hopes to attend college with his girlfriend, Brandy. Their relationship is troubled over Tre's desire to have sex, while Brandy wants to wait until marriage. Later, during a local street racing gathering, Ricky is provoked by Ferris, a Bloods member. In defense of Ricky, Doughboy brandishes his .45 ACP handgun, leading to a brief argument between the 2 gangs. After they leave, Tre and Ricky are pulled over by an LAPD patrol. The lead officer turns out to be the same one who responded to the burglary call made by Furious 7 years earlier. Coffee deliberately intimidates and threatens Tre with his gun. Distraught, Tre goes to Brandy's house, where he has an emotional breakdown. After she comforts him, they have sex for the first time. The next afternoon, Ricky has a fight with Doughboy, with Brenda quickly taking Ricky's side and berating Doughboy. Afterwards, Brenda asks Ricky to run an errand for her, and Tre accompanies him to a nearby drugstore. Soon after they depart the house, the mailman delivers a letter with Ricky's SAT results. After leaving the store, Ricky and Tre see Ferris and the Bloods driving around the neighborhood and cut through back alleys to avoid them before deciding to split up. As they walk separate directions, the Bloods ambush Ricky and gun him down, killing him. Doughboy, who had realized Tre and Ricky were in trouble when he saw the car circling the block, is distraught over Ricky's death and helps Tre carry Ricky's corpse back home. Brenda and Shanice hysterically blame Doughboy, who unsuccessfully tries to comfort them. Later that night, Brenda sobs over Ricky's test results, discovering he earned a 710, enough to qualify for the USC scholarship he wanted. Angered and distraught, the remaining boys vow vengeance on the Bloods. Furious finds Tre preparing to take his .357 Magnum pistol, but eventually convinces him to abandon his plans for revenge. However, Brandy and Furious catch Tre sneaking out of his bedroom window to join Doughboy. Later that night, as the gang drives around the city, Tre asks to be let out of the car and returns home, realizing that his father was right to keep him from falling into the cycle of violence. Doughboy finds the Bloods eating at a local fast food restaurant, and Monster opens fire on them with a Type 56 assault rifle in a drive-by shooting through an empty parking lot. Doughboy gets out of his car and personally executes Ferris and the other wounded gang member while Ferris begs for his life in vain, avenging Ricky's death. The next morning, Doughboy visits Tre, now understanding Tre's reasons for abandoning the gang. Doughboy knows that he will soon face retaliation for Ferris's death, and accepts the consequences of his crime-ridden life. He plaintively questions why American media don't know, don't show, or don't care about what's going on in the hood. He sorrowfully says that he has no brothers left now after Ricky's death. But is embraced by Tre, who says Doughboy still got one brother left. Doughboy then walks away, pouring out his malt liquor. In the epilogue text, it is revealed that Doughboy is murdered 2 weeks later in retaliation. Tre and Brandy resume their relationship and go on to attend Morehouse